Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of Furu Finance. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been quite a while. Just here to announce the release of my new meme coin on Pulse Chain. Yeah, that's right. We're building on Pulse Chain. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't need to hear that. I had to. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. No meme coins. No building on Pulse Chain for me. Yeah, I guess that's part of the reason why I've been away for a couple months now. Because instead of building on Pulse Chain, I had to get a job. A lot of people don't want to do that these days. Oh, okay. But we have a lot to talk about. I know I haven't been so active on social media, but I have been following casually, not as actively. I mean, there's not really much news going on the day to day, but there is some news and there is general, sentiment, I guess, which we can analyze. We can do a sentiment analysis. The main thing is just to chill with you guys. So I'm happy to be here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. What's going on in the chat? We have Academiciated. Nice to see you. Old friends, Leo Musselman, Mr. Chuck. Blocking me, Mr. Chuck. The bull run top for altcoins is usually a year after the Bitcoin halving. Just happened April 2024. We just need to be diamond handed until the top in 2025, 26 and not let the news scare us from selling. Well, it's kind of true, yeah. Not wrong, in my opinion. Yeah. Steve D, what's going on? Davis, what's up? Nice to see you. Chad Donnerschwans, nice to see you, as always. What's up, Ram Los from Texas? Nice. Good to see you, Hex Clips. Maybe you can make some clips. Okay. DCA, yeah. Dewey G. Dewey G. Pulse Chain failed, unfortunately. So why are you watching? It's time to pack up. Mike Go is a patron. Big shout out to Mike Go. I still do my Patreon meeting every week. Yeah, shout out to my patrons. Really appreciate your support. Yeah, I mean, Hex is done. Whoa. In my opinion. Don't like it, but it is what it is. All right. Sad to hear you say that. Yeah, I mean, what's been really going on lately? In my life, I've been working. I've had to, wasn't getting the business I was getting previously with this channel. So I had to get a job, and it's a nice job. I like it. And I am still completely in. I have not sold anything. I have not been able to DCA as much as I would want to at this point, just because living in the city is so expensive. But I still believe that I'm still very optimistic. Let's just leave it at that. I'm still very optimistic of the future for this ecosystem. And we're going to get into it. There are a lot of things that happened. There are a lot of things that, people were wondering, and I think there are answers to it. And there's a lot of things people are unsure about, and maybe we could clarify it. And I did a little bit of preparation. I skimmed down. Shoot. There goes our show. There goes our show. So yeah, I mean, what's there to talk about? The price sucks. Some people could say, some people could say it's over. Some people could say we're in the disbelief phase of the Wall Street cheat sheet, which people have been saying pretty much every time there's a dump, and people have always been wrong. So people could say that. People could say this is great. It's an accumulation opportunity. yeah, there are a lot of things that people could say, and I guess it depends on your dry powder. If you have a lot of cash and the price is this low, you may be saying it's an accumulation opportunity. If you exerted all your resources and and you cannot accumulate, you may just say it's disbelief or it's over. I don't know. It's very, very subjective. The question is whether or not it'll come back. It's important to realize that crypto has been doing not so well these past couple of months. Ever since Bitcoin went up to 74,000, it dropped a lot. And when it drops a lot, the altcoins drop more. So let's look back, like relative to the broader altcoin market. Good altcoins are probably up maybe 30-40% from their local low, or maybe 2-3x max. I mean, there's, with few exceptions, maybe you could count them on your fingers. Solana's one of them. The majority of altcoins are not doing so well. I mean, most people that have been accumulating have been not doing well. Unfortunately, Hex is doing worse. So I mean, a lot of it is just because, you know, crypto's not doing well right now. Last time I streamed, Hex was at like 2 cents, and Bitcoin was a lot higher. And that was like following the news about Richard Hart coming out publicly saying, EHEX is not where it's at. So, I mean, it's important to not lose sight of that. Okay, like altcoins are not doing well, and someone alluded to it. Mr. Chuck. Yeah, I mean, but obviously, Richard Hart's altcoins are kind of underperforming those altcoins. Not all of them, but a lot of them, and that's not what we expected. I mean, we did think that at this point we'd be a little bit higher by now, but that's fine. That's fine. We're still very early, you know. We're still very early in the cycle, and what we think is still the cycle, which I think is the cycle. Oh my gosh, it's been a long time. Great to see everyone here. So yeah, that's important to remember. You know, every time you want to blame Richard Hart or you want to blame all the meme coin people, and I'm not saying what they're doing is good. I think it's very bad. But a big part of it is, like, you know, you have these other altcoins that are down very badly, and they don't have a person making a new coin every week, and then making like 4 coins to build on those 2 coins, and then the price dropping, and they just run away with the money and never come back. There are a lot of altcoins that, you know, are not doing very well and also don't have. But okay, we're going to get into that. So yeah, I mean, it's important to remember that. But obviously, Hex has not been doing as well. I think there are a few reasons for that. One is it's difficult to onboard. It's not on Coinbase. It's not on Binance. The only people that really know how to use the bridge, not the only people, but most of the people that know how to use the bridge right now are people that have no money and need to sell. So that's a big part of it. The SEC lawsuit is a big part of it, and the building on Pulse Chain. I think we have our answer, by the way. If anyone has been wondering, and I'm not the first person to say this, but if anyone has been wondering if like building on Pulse Chain is good for Pulse Chain, I think we have our answer. But it could be much worse. Like, no, I think we have our answer. I think it's not so good for Pulse Chain, and I think a lot of people, everyone knows that by now, but nevertheless, people are like, you know, having their project launch on Pulse Chain. What's the reason for that? I don't speak for everyone, and I'm not. If it's not you, I'm not talking about you. But I think if we look back at, you know, when Hex was at all-time highs, you know, when like the sentiment was the most optimistic, a lot of people were making these videos like, oh, Richard Hart, I retired, you know, thanks to you. You know, I was poor and I was working for $20 an hour. And thanks to you, I could retire, you know, and I could live my dream. So a lot of people retired on Hex. They retired on Pulse Chain. And Richard said, oh, you don't want to do that because then you're going to be a net taker, net negative instead of a net positive. So a lot of people retired, and, they might have a lot of T-shares now, but are they cash rich? No, they're cash poor. Why is that? Even though they took profits, many of them, despite taking profits, they're cash poor. Why? Because they leveled up. They improved their lifestyle. Their car payments are a lot more after they retired on Hex than before they retired on Hex. Their mortgage is a lot more, now that they retired on Hex. They got a nice big house, they got a nice big car, and now they have to make the payments. And they never anticipated price drop off. So when the price dropped, they had to panic sell to make those payments, to sustain that lifestyle, country club bills, all those sort of things. It dropped more and more, and you have a choice. Like, you could, sell your stuff and go back to work, or you could, there are things that you can build on Pulse Chain. Let's just say that you can build on Pulse Chain. Okay. So a lot of people decided they don't want to go back to work, and, they want to build on Pulse Chain. And I'm not saying, if this is not you, it's not you. I'm not saying anyone in particular. It could be like people aren't even influencers. And yeah, I mean, that's what we're stuck with. Like a lot of building on Pulse Chain, and a lot of people selling their Pulse Chain to buy the building on Pulse Chain, and a lot of the builders on Pulse Chain selling their Pulse Chain and just cashing out on the people that sold their Pulse Chain from the building on Pulse Chain, and never coming back. The money's never going to see this ecosystem again. Hookers and blow. So that's a big reason for it. So I think if there's a moral to the story, it should be, if you're not over 50, 60 years old, like, you should not be retiring on crypto. You should continue working. It's nice to have, a nice cushion from your profits and continue to work rather than retire. And what are you going to do? You're 30 years old. What are you going to do once you retire all day? It's not healthy. It's not good. Like, you should work. You should work. You could be a little bit less conservative, with how you spend your money, and but you should still work. I don't intend to retire on crypto. Like, I like my job, and I'm going to stay doing it. And I think everyone should also. Imagine everyone stopped building on Pulse Chain and went back to work and then bought Pulse Chain. That would probably be a lot better for the ecosystem. So yeah, I mean, that's like a big thing. I think the moral of the story is, don't retire on crypto. Not a good idea. Not a good idea to retire when you're in your 20s or 30s. Not good for you, not good for the ecosystem. Yeah. So SEC lawsuit, that's hurt it, definitely. It's definitely bad for centralized exchange listings. Like, they might not want to list, Hex because they're being investigated by Richard Hart's being investigated by the SEC. But to be fair, these exchanges are also getting investigated by the SEC. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely hurt it, but that's in the process of hopefully, going away and having a positive outcome. Yeah. And there's a lot of people are like, they want to say that like, it's good because we're shaking out the weak hands. That's not true. Like, that's not true. You don't want to shake people out. We're sort of at this place where people are so they're in this like state of such depression and disbelief and frustration that when the price goes up, they're probably not going to want a diamond hand. They probably can't. One, because they think it's just going to be another suckers rally, which is what everything else was before. And two, they got to make the payments. They retired. So yeah, I mean, shaking out the weak hands is healthy, then every single crypto that crashed and never came back should have been up massively. Should be like Bitcoin. It's like, no. You need to rebuild confidence. You need to bring back confidence. You need people to feel optimistic, that this is not a sucker's rally. This is for real, in order for things to go up. Because if the price even goes up, there's just like so much sell pressure, so many people that have so much to sell, they'll just eat it. You want those people to bring back confidence. And the best way for that to happen is for the SEC lawsuit to go away and for Richard Hart to come back. I mean, that's really what it is. If Richard Hart would come back, all these things would probably be forgotten. And I think this really does show the significance of Richard Hart. I mean, we could talk about game theory and tokenomics, which I'm sure is helpful and stuff like that. But all those things are still there. There's one thing that was there that isn't, and the price is still devastated, and that is Richard. It's a fact, right? I mean, just think about it. Think about his social media. Like, he had over 100,000. He has over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Think about the attention that it generates, not only for him, but for other people talking about the same topics. It's like an anchor tenant at a mall. You come from Macy's and then you stay and you buy from the other stores, the smaller stores, because you're already there. So like, people are watching his stuff, and then they watch my stuff, and things like that. So, I mean, that's really what it comes down to, is that the reason for the situation is Richard Hart not being there. You may not like the way that he's doing it. It may not be the best way to do it, but he's doing what he's doing. So, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And you have to ask yourself, do you think he wants to be like this forever? Like, do you think he wants to never come back and just follow no one, never stream again? Based on what he said prior to all this about being in it for glory and things like that, I think he's going to come back. But, I mean, he's clearly in the middle of something. Yeah. But I don't know. That's really what it is. And obviously him unfollowing everyone and not retweeting and, boosting engagement on Twitter is probably not helpful as well. Yeah, I mean, that's really the situation. People like to talk about the SAC money. It's going to pump our bags. If you'd ask me, like right now, like all that $1 billion, whatever, I mean, a couple $100 million in Ethereum right now. If that would go into the system, it's going to be gone in a second. There'll be a wick because people are so devastated. There needs to be this restoration of confidence and positivity injected into the ecosystem, or else, because these people, I mean, they're not going to want to sell now, but they'll want to sell when it goes up. And I think if you can generate enough positivity where these people are more confident, something like Richard Hart being back, good SEC news, things like that. I mean, then people will be like, hey, maybe I want to stay in this thing, and then maybe it could go up, and then we could go back to where things were. But yeah, I mean, that's really what's going on. That's really what's going on right now. But when you invest, you're not investing based on what is happening now. You're investing based on what's going to happen in the future. And I'm pretty optimistic about the future. But what do you guys think? Are you guys optimistic about the future? Let me know in the comments section. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Not quite doing the, 300 that we had before, but 300 viewers we had in the live stream. But, 66, it's not bad. It's nice. And I appreciate you guys tuning in. But yeah, I mean, that's really the rundown. And I guess, no, I did have some like things to look at. This is Bitcoin, guys. Bitcoin has not been doing well lately, if you haven't noticed. Even though, I mean, it's way up. You would have bought during the whole FTX thing, but it's at like 57,000 now, down from 74,000. You can look at the ruler. It's down it dropped over 25%, and it's down over 20% right now. With that, the altcoins do get devastated. Okay, let's not forget that. So, I mean, Hex is an altcoin still. Yeah, but like if we zoom out and we look at past cycles, it's about on target with 2016. We should be expecting nice price appreciation in the near future, and the broader economic outlook is supporting good price action for cryptocurrency. The S&P 500 is up at all-time highs, like way beyond its previous all-time highs. So I think we're looking for some optimistic price action from at least Bitcoin, with the positive implications of the broader economic outlook. Combined with the repeat of previous cycles following the Bitcoin halving, we should be looking at pretty decent price action for at least Bitcoin and Ethereum in the near future. And I think the altcoins like Hex and Pulse Chain will follow along. Are we going to get like all-time highs to like over 50 cents with Hex? That depends on the SEC and Richard Hart and things like that. Those things I can't answer for sure, but it's definitely going to do something. I mean, I think that's fair to say, right? So, yeah, I do look at this very often because things are really playing out pretty much as they have been in previous cycles. So yeah, I mean that's like really the rundown there. And not so good. Doesn't feel so good, does it? Huh? I hope you haven't been investing more than you can afford to lose. Let's leave it at that. But yeah, that's the Hex chart for you guys there. And the court website, like now you have to pay for updates, but Richard Hart gives some of them. So I remember this tweet, him saying July 8th, the SEC has to respond, and then they have to respond to Richard Hart's motion to dismiss. Richard Hart had a motion to dismiss with his 12 lawyers or whatever, one of them being, 12 big lawyers. They have very high profile people. I heard Elon Musk was a client of one of these lawyers. I don't know for sure. I haven't really done the research, to be fair. But he did say that the SEC did present its opposition. It's just not public, and it would not be advantageous for him to disclose it for whatever reason. And we had a nice message 2 days ago. Pulse chain price is almost down to the SEC complaint week low. Not financial advice. Past performance not guaranteed future result. So I guess maybe Richard's optimistic, which is good. And he's fighting the court case, which is good. People thought he wouldn't fight the court case, and he is fighting the court case. So that's good. And people thought that, he was going to take the money and run, which he didn't, which is good, and I wouldn't want him. And he did burn some of it on Hex, and I don't think it would be a good idea. Well, I don't know if he did, but the Sacrifice wallet, the entity that was associated with the Sacrifice wallet that raised close to $1 billion, over $1 billion at that time, did deploy some capital to Hex. And it was probably a mistake, but maybe it wasn't, because it did show like, hey, like, even though I'm not putting it all in, I'm in it, like I'm in it, I or we or whatever. So I mean, it did definitely give a positive message, but I think it would be a very big mistake at this point, considering the disbelief in the ecosystem, in the Richard Hart, considering like the disbelief we're in and how desperate people are right now, where they're resorting to creating all their meme coins just to make a quick buck off you suckers. No offense, not all of you, many of you, maybe not many of you. I don't know the percentage, but considering like the desperation we see, probably not a good idea to deploy that capital right now. Probably be a very bad idea. I think we should wait. Let's see how things play out with the SEC. I think they'll play out positively. I think Richard's a really smart guy, and he's very familiar with the law and has a good team around him, and good good precedent to the point where I think he's probably going to get a good result. But yeah, I mean, look at the desperation. Look at the state people are in. People need to get a job. It sucks, right? Be a wagey. Being a wagey is not that bad, by the way. It gives you something to live for, and it gives you money, and it makes you a better person because you're not cheating people. So, not saying everyone that's doing this is, but what I'm saying is like, get your stuff together, get a job, DCA, not financial advice. Once that starts happening, once, things start becoming more positive as far as like the legal outlook and as far as, Richard Hart being a little bit more public, which I think he will be, that's when, things could start. That's when like, the SAC treasury, so to speak, could start being very advantageous. Maybe not even just like burn the cash, maybe just put it in something that earns yield and use the interest to buy more and keep the principal. I don't know. That's not for me to decide. Hey, I'm just a fan, right? It's like Johnny Chaos says, I'm just a fan. I wear a jersey. But I think the people behind this or the person behind this is very smart and knows what he's doing. So yeah, I mean, that's really what's going on. I wish the price was higher. I know we did have 2 good days, but we're here, okay? We haven't left. We're enjoying ourselves. Touch grass. Touch grass, yo. I'm just kidding. Yeah. What are you guys thinking? Now's the time for you to leave your chats, and maybe I'll respond to them. But first, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You need the bell notification too, because I don't go live every day at 12 anymore. I'm busy. So yeah, hit the bell notification, hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification, and post your chat or your super chat. But I don't expect super chats because you guys are all broke. Hey, I'm just kidding. But like, yeah. Probably better for super chats in like the bull market, but what's going on? I'm looking forward to seeing what Richard Hart says on your stream post. I hope he does come on my stream. That'll be really cool. I wonder what would it be like for like, I don't know. So many people that were considered like so loyal to him sold out and like to the extent where he unfollowed everyone. So I'm just trying to think like, what would it be like when he comes back? Does he forgive them? I don't know. Do things maybe just when the price goes up, nobody cares anymore. But he's very hurt by like clearly like very hurt by all the people that are creating their own coins. That was like the big thing that he wanted to not happen, and it's happening so much. So like, I mean, how are the dynamics with him relative to like those big names? I don't know. Oh, a lot of stuff going on. Never thought it would be like this. To be fair, like, I know a lot of people are shilling the altcoins, but like, I don't know. They didn't expect like Richard to go about this the way he is. Like, he did say like, Satoshi left. And he didn't leave, but like, I don't know. Everyone expected that, it would be the same dynamics throughout the bear market, and that clearly didn't happen. There's reason for it, but I don't know. He might be doing the best thing possible, but people feel hurt and people's bags are hurt. So I don't want to be like too hard on everyone. Not here to blame other people. Just here to talk about what's going on. What's going on? Fang Fa, great to see you back. I still have faith in the Richard Hart ecosystem. A cool head, patience, and persistency is key to survive in crypto, in my opinion. Yeah, that's true. That's true. The world says some of the pulse chain memes have gone up by a lot. Yeah. How many have gone up by a lot? Yeah, it's easy to look at one of them and say, oh, yeah, see, I told you. But how many came and went? Hundreds. If you're buying all of them, like, how are you doing? Not so well. Pretty badly. Not to say, like, if you're in Hex, like, also not so well, but, like, yeah. Most people that have been buying Hex recently, you know, everyone that's been buying Hex recently is not down as much because they're not buying the top like you are with meme coins. Chances are you bought the top. Think about all of them. Think about how many came back. Okay, there is the one or two, but like if you were buying all of them, how much capital did you put in the one or two? How is that relative? How are the gains from that like small percentage of capital relative to the rest of your portfolio? Probably very bad. They're probably not making up for the rest of your losses. Probably better off just buying and holding. And it's probably better for everyone if you just buy and hold Hex. Like, I mean, that's just the way it works, okay? Think about the people that shield the meme coins. Think about every single meme coin they shield, and where are they now? Like, they're all bad. That's it. Davis says, I stopped my 97 dip DCA after Richard Hart curb stomped EHEX. Okay. Dowaji. Richard Hart could build his own foundation and make pulse chain ecosystem attractive for instructions in Web3 companies. I don't know if he could do anything right now. there's some things happening, you know. There's some things happening, so it's not that simple. And why would that be good for the price if that money goes into a foundation for people building instead of the price itself? How's that good? Why has Bitcoin done so well? Bitcoin has done so well because people buy and don't sell. Same thing with like all your equities that are performing well. Like that's why they do well. So why don't you build a foundation and make a pulse chain ecosystem attractive for people? Like seriously, not to hate, but I mean, hey. RGS says super bullish. Maybe Eric Wall was right. Maybe. I don't know. You decide for yourself. Eric Wall also said it was the dumbest thing ever before it did a 10,000x. So I'm sure it's probably waiting until SEC lawsuit goes away. It's not, I don't think it's probably. Everything, all the sentiment implies that. Oh, good to see you, RGS. Yeah, good to see everyone here. How are you guys all doing? How are you guys holding up? Are you guys buying meme coins? You guys like buying meme coins? Probably yes, unfortunately, but whatever. It's all good. It's your money, your choice. Your money, your choice. I'm pro-choice when it comes to cryptos, okay? But I make my choice very public. Yeah. And hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. What else is going on? Inflation is like at 3%. It's gone up a little bit or something, but hey, one of the calls that I'm very proud of is saying that we're not going to hyperinflation. Remember all the influencers that were, prying on your fears, and basically telling you that inflation was going to go to 30, 40, 50%. This is just the beginning. Hyperinflation. Why do people do that? Is that because they honestly believe it? Or is it because they know people are scared and they're looking for not necessarily the truth, but for viewership, and they could they could exploit that fear, for their own promotion. I mean, and that's really what happened. But I told you we're not going into hyperinflation. Higher prices means less spending. Less spending means less inflation. So that's good. I mean, all the macro fears of like high interest rates and high inflation pretty much been extinguished. And the cycle is pretty much taking it from there. So that's really good. Irrespective of like your beliefs about Hex hitting all-time highs or not. We're bound for something. That would be really sad if we get nothing. And I really don't think that's going to happen. But, people are talking about interest rates going down now. And honestly, I don't want to hear another word about interest rates because clearly, as I said, they're not the indicator that everyone thought they were. Far from it. Especially once everyone started talking about it. Just be like, just like the economics people, Bloomberg, and like then all of a sudden, like after inflation started, every single influencer on YouTube started talking about the Fed and interest rates. Like at that point, is it really going to give you an edge? The market is smarter than you. Don't time the market. Yeah, guys, 81 people watching. Hit the like button and subscribe. How have you been spending this time? Have you been bettering yourself as a person? Have you been preparing for... Remember we used to hear about like sudden wealth syndrome, all that sentiment. There was such a pretense that like we're all retiring in like 2 years. Like there was such a pretense like yeah, like not to hate on Maddie. Like Maddie's great, but like it was like, yeah, son, you guys think that your life is going to get better because you get money? Let me tell you, it's going to get worse. You have to be ready. But it was like, we're getting money. Everyone thought like, yeah, we're going to be rich now. But but like now it's like everyone's saying like, I don't think so. We're probably not going to go anywhere. Hey, I'm not even going to like buy more. That is funny. It is funny. Everyone thought like, oh yeah, the bear market's going to come. We're just going to accumulate. It's like, it's not that simple. The market's smarter than you, right? Chances are if like you got a job, and increase your productivity, you're doing a lot better than people that just sort of assume. It was taken for granted that like, yeah, we're all going to be rich. Yeah, well, Bitcoin halving for sure. Hex will be at like 10 cents. That's generally not even how it works. It's usually the altcoins are just in this devastation until like Bitcoin's like really above all-time highs, and then like they really do something. So except for Ethereum is kind of the exception, and like Solana this cycle. So, but yeah, I mean, how things changed was really incredible. It's really incredible. A lot of people were like hardcore, like purists, Richard Hart maximalists, and it's just like, yeah, it's over. They either left or they stopped, or they, shilled all the meme coins, or made meme coins, or made utility coins, building on pull chain, like real utility. Oh, it's all BS. It's a market. It's buyers and sellers. Yeah, let's cut the garbage out. It's one thing we really learned. The one thing we learned about crypto, the whole white paper thing, it's like nonsense. Shiba Inu and Doge, put all these white paper teams, nice website, nice office, like it just put it all to shame. Hex did that too for a while. I mean, that's not to say I like the T-share, the game theory. It's good. It definitely helped, but yeah, people aren't buying. Sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy also. Like people know about the game theory, so they buy more because they think that because of the game theory, they buy more because of the game theory, and then they buy more and then the price just goes up. It's like, because there's so much confidence in the game theory as opposed to the game theory in it of itself, if that makes sense. Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. we could, at the end of the day, like you just don't know. I mean, you could look at the price chart, but it's very hard to know the reason why. I mean, it's just sort of the market is like the unknown. You have to get into people's heads. You have to, like, it's a lot of different opinions, a lot of different thought patterns that react differently to a lot of things, and the culmination of that is what you're seeing on the price chart. So exactly to pinpoint which thing, it's just not possible. You have to just say, hey, Hex, the community's good. The community's good. The game theory's good. There's a lot of engagement. Richard Hart is larger than life. He's a big personality. He's done great things. Hopefully it'll continue to be great. Oh, man. Just rambling now. Davis expanded his business after eHex got trashed. Why were you buying eHex then? Were you buying eHex and then I told you not to? Okay. Just messing. But that's good. I'm very proud of you for expanding your business. That's good. We like that. Crypto world. DCA all the way. I am one of the lucky ones who did not sacrifice for bullshit. You didn't. Congrats. Yeah. Everyone that got in on the sacrifice did not do as well. Well, to be fair, you know what? Probably chances are you're doing better if you sacrifice, because the people that didn't sacrifice bought Pulse Chain at like 3x the sacrifice, and then they were out of money. They're out of money now. Okay, so like they're out of the money. So most people that didn't get in on the sacrifice are doing a lot worse than the people that bought in the sacrifice. Also, people that bought in the sacrifice bought at a time when crypto was at all-time highs. So they were buying with their 1000x, whatever, 100x, 20x. They were getting in position with that much more money. By the time right now, like everyone's devastated in crypto. So well, I don't think you're lucky to miss the sacrifice. You're unlucky, probably. Unless you were like super smart that you said, hey, I'm not going to get in on the sacrifice. I'm going to sell my crypto now. And I know that after the sacrifice, after the launch, it's going to go up, and then it's going to be like, nobody does that. Who are we kidding? Nobody does that. Nobody does that except for a few people. And if you did that, you weren't smart, you won the lottery. And if that's the sort of way you're going to approach crypto and stuff like that, yeah, maybe you're doing well now, but chances are you're going to continue to do this. And at a later stage in the market cycle, and a couple of years down the line, you're going to be considerably worse off than the people that just bought and were patient. That's really the way it works. That's really the way it works. That's why I'm such a fan of staking. It's like, are you in it or are you not? Like, if you think it's going to do well, then you just have to buy and hold. If you don't, then get out of here. Like, the people that are timing the market, they think it's going to do well, but they think that they know better. And maybe the first time they didn't know. They got lucky. It's like you won the slot machine the first time, so you keep gambling, and then you lose everything. Are you in it or not? If you're in it, buy and hold. If you're not, then you're not. That's it. I don't respect that. I don't respect anyone that sold the top and bought. Like, I don't respect that. I don't respect that. People that bought and held Bitcoin are doing way better than you. Ever. And that's why you got to stake. That's why, because if you're in it, then you got to stake. Because if you don't stake, you're going to suffer the same fate as like all the people that bought Bitcoin in its early stages. They're not doing so well, except for the people that were already rich, like Roger Ver. It's really what it comes down to. I'm rambling. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. It's nice to be back with you guys. I should do this more often. It's funny because a lot of people like ask me, like, what do I do for a living? And I tell them, what I do. And then they said, how long have you been doing it? And it's like, oh, just a couple months. what were you doing before that? I'm like, I was an influencer. And it did well for a while. Oh man, it's like, why don't you still do it? You know, you should still. I'm like, I'm gonna do it probably this week. Like I've been saying, everyone's like, when are you gonna do it? I'm like, I'm gonna do it this week. I've been like, I'm gonna stream this week for many weeks already, like for many months. I've been saying like this week, and finally it happened. I had a day off, and finally it happened. And I'm very happy I did it. But it's just funny. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's like 2 more weeks. It was like the Pulse Chain launch. Like, yeah, I'm not done. I'm going to do it again. It's like so hard once you're not doing it every single day to get a thumbnail and do some preparation. I worked very hard. You know, when I was doing this full time, it was like the hardest I've ever worked. It's not so simple to just like get back into the rhythm. But yeah. And Bright Light Crypto says, miss you on Corey's channel. Glad you're back for a stream. Yeah, guys, you can see the replay. So once I decided that I'm going to be streaming today, I said I saw Corey Geary was live, and it's open mic Friday, so I went on. A big shout out to them. Yeah, they've been one of the few that's been doing this, been streaming the entire time in the bear market, and that's like so admirable because it's really not easy, you know, especially for people that are working. And they were like they did it. They weren't all talk. The bear market came and they did what people are supposed to do during bear market. And the hexologist also, right? Like he's streaming. So there's no excuses. I should be doing this more often. Mr. Chuck says, have your thoughts changed on EX? A million EX is 1,330. First of all, no. My thoughts have not changed, but I'll read the question because I like you. A million EX is $1,330, and a million hex is $4,890 right now. Gas has been hasn't been outrageous recently for a staking. It's not going to do well. That's what I'm going to say. Risk reward makes no sense. You know, it's just like for so many reasons. I can't do it now. I'm not going to do it now. And I'm done. There were some some learning experiences as an influencer. And I think the whole EX thing was a big learning experience. It's that, like, you know, even if you think you're right, like, you don't have to be so obnoxious about it. You know, you can state your opinion and that's it. And yeah, I mean, I think it played out. And it has been good for my social capital, I guess, that I was like that loud about it. But at the same time, hey, I mean, Johnny Chaos may never come on my stream again. So I don't know. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. It's something that happened. But if this would happen again, like some sort of EXPX thing would happen again, I would go about it very differently. But yeah, I'm like so sick of explaining why I'm not a fan of EX. And at this point, you have to decide for yourself, I guess. You could watch my old videos, many of which I privatized, so maybe not even watch them. But you could watch the Dixon Piper interview is still up, and Dixon Piper did a really good job explaining it. So I don't even have to. He's great. He did better than I could. So go watch the Furu Finance interview with Dixon Piper. That could answer your questions. Yeah, that's what I'd say. Bitcoin and ETH are not devastated. That is true. But when they're down a little, especially before the Bitcoin dominance drops, which it still hasn't, the altcoins get devastated. And Hex is an altcoin. So that's what I'd say. Davis was buying all of them. All right, if you bought all of them, you bought all of them. whatever. Honestly, like and how good does it feel to rub it in when Hex is down? Regular Hex is still down so much too. Even if it were up, it's not the right thing to do. But like at this point, it's like, oh yeah, I got you. Like, I'm down less, but still down. It's like stupid. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the kind words, Izzy. There's been no valuable content, including me. So yeah, don't watch. Hey, it's a free market. Anthony Roberts says it's all a psychological cycle. People buy high and sell low all the time. The market needs these people. Not everyone can win. That's true. Well, everyone can win. If everyone just buys and holds, we all win. If everyone just buys and stakes and has like a staking ladder and and sells some or sells the interest or some of the interest and keeps the principal, we all do win. So that's not true. We could all win. That's not true. People that get 401ks and bought the S&P 500 and held, they won. More money keeps getting into circulation, and that money that goes into circulation goes into these things. So we could all win, but unfortunately, it hasn't been like that lately. Yeah, guys, we've been streaming for 51 minutes, and we got 82 people. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. And Bob Stutz, hey, Furu just got on. What's up? Hey, Bob. Big shout out to Bob. He's a patron. Comes to my meeting like every week, and we just hang out. So I appreciate it. I appreciate him tuning in. Oh, hi, Furu. Hi, CI. What's going on? Old friend. It's nice to see old friends. Welcome back. Stakers have more tokens now, and later the diamond hands will hold most of on the tokens. Yeah. Yes, you do. But yeah, I mean, yeah. If you believe that this thing's coming back, the only thing you can really do is stake, because if not, you're screwed. Nobody makes money in crypto. Nobody makes money in crypto because they all sell early and then it goes up and then they buy it back late and then it crashes because that's the real top. And it's like so few people do. The only way to do it is like not selling for a very long time, meaning not thinking, I want to get in and I'll be super rich in I want to get in and then I'll be like super rich in like a year from now and sell. And then like never works. Like theoretically speaking, it's possible. Like if you look at the chart of a given altcoin, but that never happens. Like that never happens. Never. Like the only people that really win buy and lose their wallet or are rich so they don't have to sell ever because they're already rich and they don't need to extract liquidity from selling their assets. It's like the only way is like staking. It's like, so we see how important it is now. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to like, it sucks that like a lot of people have lost a lot of money, because they stake, like they didn't sell, but like, you believe this is working or not? Like, yes or no? Because if you do, then you're not going to do this. I'll sell that. Like, no. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, staking is really important, and you shouldn't be staking more than you can afford to lose. And yeah, I mean, we need restoration of confidence in the ecosystem, which can be brought about by positive, just the rest of crypto going up. I think will definitely give us a jump. It'll definitely give us something. And also the SEC lawsuit having a favorable play out That'll be really good. And also Richard Hart coming back. And I think anyone that thought that, everyone thought that like, oh yeah, it's me, it's not Richard. I think we all know that it was kind of Richard. You're not him, you're just not as smart or as charismatic as him. And but hey, we could still do something, okay? Like as regular, regular influencers, we could still do something. We could still make a difference. But I mean, he was huge. He was huge. Everyone that thought that they could do what he did, right? That was like he was like the big thing that he saw. Like smart people that are rich are able to get ahead of things, right? Like smart people are able to see things first and do it before everyone else does it. And that's why they're so successful. And he's super smart. And he realized like, hey, I can make my own coin, not even get it listed. It used to be like, you have to at least get it listed on an exchange. Like I'm not even going to get it. I'm going to use the decentralized exchange. He was like the make my own coin thing, make my own coin guy. Okay. Like that's really what Richard was. Like, yeah, granted, a lot of people made coins, but like those people like believed those people were either scammers or like they had massive connections. They had massive teams. They had massive marketing operations. Richard did it all organically, which is incredible. I mean, we're all here because of him. He didn't spend any money on marketing. Like we're all here because of him. Think of what a force of nature he is, that he was able to do that by himself, just with a camera, a microphone, and social media accounts. Made the pound for pound most engaged community in crypto. And the price did so well because of him. People say, oh yeah, he pumped the price. It's like, we're seeing that like just pumping the price is not enough. Because every time money goes in, everyone eats it. It was really him. The design was brilliant, but also just his ability, like his who he is as a person. So I'm saying like, people thought that they could be Richard and they could make coins. Like a lot of people made coins and they didn't even like necessarily dump on everyone. Like they really thought it's like, no, reality hits. You're not him. Like, you're not him. And we're seeing that sort of thing by both the price action since he's stepped back due to the SEC, and also the price action of all the other coins, because everyone else is you're just not him. There's one him, and like he's who he is for a reason. But yeah, I mean, I digress. But yeah, so he did that and like it was successful. So everyone thought, oh, hey, I'll make a coin. I'll make this, arbitrage, game theory, liquidity bonding. Like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about liquidity bonding. It doesn't work like that. It's like, yes, first of all, he was the one that discovered the liquidity bonding, but you can't just bond your liquidity to something else and then you're going to do well. Why don't we just, it doesn't work like that. Most coins were bonded to Ethereum on Uniswap, and most coins did terribly. So it's not that simple and things like that. So like, what am I trying to say? I'm basically trying to say that like, so he did it and everyone thought, oh yeah, I could do it too. I'm smart. I understand what he says. So I could apply those. It's like, no, you can't. And we're seeing that because no one did it, either because they don't care, they want to screw you, or because they're just not him. So he discovered it first, and now it's like pretty much too late. I don't know if there could be another him ever, like, because everyone's doing it now. So it's like, even if you do have the savviness and the ability to attract people and onboard and market and things like that, like even if like you have what he has, he got there first. Like now you're fighting against everyone, so you're not going to do it, which is interesting. It's an interesting thing to think about. So yeah, I mean, overall, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that you're probably wasting your money buying these coins building on Pulse Chain. And it's probably bad for the price. It's probably bad for you. It's probably bad for the price of Pulse Chain. And it's probably only good for the person that made that coin because he could get a quick buck. But yeah, I mean, I'm so sick and tired of it. It's just so, nails on a chalkboard. Building on Pulse Chain. It's like, if I see you in my threads talking about what you're building on Pulse Chain, you're going to get blocked. It's disgusting. It's so shameless. Also, it's like so shameless. It's like just It's like like everyone's like, it's like when people were doing it when like the price was up, you know, the few people that like did it early were doing it's like whatever, it's not as bad. There was also this thought like, hey, maybe this actually is good for Pulse Chain. Like at this point, it's like everyone's like so devastated. And it's like, building on Pulse Chain, the game theory, liquidity bonding. It's like, shut up. And yeah, I was the one that made the video explaining liquidity bonding. So I don't want to hear this, not understand. I don't want to hear liquidity bonding. Don't want to hear, like, it's got to stop. Okay. Maybe it's because like, I think a big reason for this also, it's not a little bit is attributable to Richard Levy. What I'm saying is like, yeah, this building on Pulse Chain is disgusting. At this point, it's like gross. It's just so desperate and shameless. It's like, why don't you just ask for money? Hey, I need money. I need money. Can you give me money? Like, I would respect that more than building on Pulse Chain at this point. Building on Pulse Chain. All right, enough of the negativity. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you guys all tuning in. I am going to end the stream, but you know, I'm here. I'm following the news very closely. I'm very optimistic. I haven't left. I don't want to hear welcome back. Okay. Okay, I could hear it, but like, yeah, I'm here. I'm watching some influencers in the space. I'm very optimistic. Oh, get a job. DCA, not financial advice. Don't build on Pulse Chain. Don't buy people's shit building on Pulse Chain. And like this video and subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time. Have a great rest of your weekend and day.